Travel rap. Yeah, it's the Travel Rap Podcast.
What's the deal, people? And welcome to the Travel Rap Podcast, the place where the art of storytelling meets the world of travel. I am your host, Frank Nitt, and for today's destination, we're going to Kending, Taiwan. But this story has a few levels to it, so we don't start in Kending. We actually start in Shanghai, and I fly to Taipei. And this is where the story begins, in Taipei, Taiwan. And when I walk, it starts immediately. When I walk out the door, I walk out into Taipei, and it's in the middle of the city and all that good stuff. And there's three things going on. First off, this is the biggest Taiwanese man I have ever seen in my life. And he knew he was big. He actually told me that he lived in America for a long time and ate a lot of McDonald's. And that's why he was such a big Taiwanese guy, right? And he had a little bitty Toyota Corolla. And as I mentioned before, there's something with Toyota Corollas and whatever. So he had a little bitty Toyota Corolla. The third thing that got me was that there were little red droplets that look like blood droplets all over the street when you walk outside. I mean, just on the sidewalk in the street, it's everywhere. And you know, I thought I walked into a crime scene. I was like, yo, what's going on? I found out later that what it was like the equivalent of chewing tobacco. It's called betel nut. Pause. It's called betel nut. Pause. And they chew it, but it's red. And it does a number on the toothal area. It kills the toothal area, but they spit it out, so it looked like a crime scene. It was like red droplets all over the street, but it was from them spitting out the chewing tobacco or betel nut. Pause. Now, so I was bugging out about that, but once they kind of explained it to me, I realized that, you know, there wasn't like all the shooters and all the hoods in America had a summit in Taipei. So at any rate, so we get into the little Corolla, and he's a really big guy in a little bitty car, and I'm smashed in the back seat, and we speed. We do 300 miles an hour to the next city, to what would be Zhongli, which was supposed to be our base while in Taiwan and China. So when we get to Zhongli, the promoter there says, okay, here's the plan. Drop your bags, and we're going to hop on a bus, and we're going to go south, and we're going to go to Kending, which is where all the rest of this takes place. So we're going to go because we're going to play a show there next week, because it's a big festival that lasts 2 weeks, right? We'll be there next week, but I need to go and handle some business now, and I just don't want to leave you guys, you know, brand new in Zhongli without, you know, any type of someone to show you around. So it's better if y'all just go with us. It'll be for a day, and we'll be right back. Okay, cool. I'm tired. I'm fresh off a plane from Shanghai. I did a show the night before. It was a crazy show, wet t-shirt contest and all types of stuff. But we're about to go and get on this bus and go down south to Kending. So okay. So when we get to the bus, now let me say that this is during their equivalent of spring break. So all the kids are out of school and they have parties in different places. And where we're going is one of the destinations. It's a beach area. It's right off the ocean, right? They said if you go straight ahead out from where we were, you run into the Philippines. Might be true. I don't know. I didn't try it. Now, so we go to get on the bus, and it's late at night, so we'll travel through the night from where we are in Zhongli to Kending. When we get to the bus, it's packed with kids. It's packed with, you know, college age kids ready to go party, right? So at this particular time, Frank snores like a Hellcat starting up in the morning. That's what it sounds like. It's serious business. So I don't want to necessarily just go to sleep on this on on this bus with all these kids, right? And the crazy thing is, again, we're traveling at night. As soon as the bus started moving, all the kids fell asleep. Like everybody went to sleep. It's completely silent on the bus. And the last thing I want to do is start to snore like a like a howitzer gun in here and wake all these people up. I'm a very considerate guy, so I decide I'm just gonna stay awake. I'm just gonna stay awake. And when I tell you I seen the whole beautiful countryside of Taiwan, I did. I mean the mausoleums on the side and all the different things, right? So as we travel through the night, the sun comes up. You know, we with the sun. So as we get to where we're going, the sun comes up, and I see in the distance, and it's actually where we're going to. Like it's like the U.S. Embassy. It's like I've only been to one place on this planet that didn't have it, and it's like for Americans, maybe for other people, but I know for me, traveling, it is like a mirage or something. It's just beautiful when you see it. It's McDonald's. I could get some food that wasn't, it was normal to me in my mind. Now I've expanded my horizons when it comes to food since then, but at this particular time, man, listen, I'm not trying to hear it. Don't offer me nothing. Let me go to McDonald's. So I got me some nuggets, got me some fries, and after that we went up into the national park where the festival was held, because it was like people came out and camped, and they had a whole bunch of international artists, and then they had like different foods that wasn't technically normal in Taiwan. So you had like Jamaican food, and you had all the American candies. You could get, lemon heads and all types of crazy stuff that you could only technically get in America. So they had them there. It was a crazy little international festival. So we go up to the festival. Now I am dead tired. I'm dead tired. So they say, okay, the promoter who was up there to handle his business, part of what he did was sold food. Him and his lady had she made Jamaican food to sell, right? So she part of his deal was to be there so they could sell the food. So he said, okay, I'm gonna be out here kind of on the grounds, and we got like a campsite set up next to our stand where we sell the food, so we're gonna stay here. And they had the homeboy with them who was like a third party to help them with the sales of the food or whatever and whatnot, and also us when it was time for us to perform or whatever. But at any rate, so he was there, and so I said, okay, cool. Well, where are we supposed to sleep? I want to chill out for a second. So they take us to this. It's on site. Now we're in a national park, and I mean this is a real, trees, and it's a national park, right? So we go to the housing that they have on site, and this is not housing that gets used on a regular basis. It's a national park, so it's not like people use this. So when we get there, and mind you, we're in Taiwan, so we get there, and it's me and DJ Dopey. Shout out to DJ Dopey. And we go, and they take us to this room, and it's a room. First, there's one room for both of us, right? But in Taipei, or Taiwan, excuse me, not Taipei because we was in Kending, but Taiwan, they have the rooms, they have like an elevated floor. So you have like a square at the front door where you can come in and have the standing room, and then it's like the floor is just elevated, and what they do is put pallets on that, right? And that's considered a place to sleep. And if you don't know what a pallet is, it's small pad, little pillow, some covers, a little pallet to sleep on. So immediately when I seen that, especially in the state that I was in, as tired as I was, hey man, this ain't gonna get it. We got to figure something out. So they say, okay, well hold on, Frank, we got another room for you, right? So okay, they take me to this other room. Now this room is straight out of like, for somebody over 40 or it's like straight out of MASH. It's like wartime Vietnam. It's like a little room. It has a bathroom in it, the bed, a really old TV. The TV is older than I am. It's old. And a little table and a desk, and that's it, right? And when I tell you, there was a layer of dust on this bed so fortified that when I pushed it, it crunched. I pushed it, it crunched. The cover. But I'm so tired that I need to lay down. So I move the crunchy cover off the very end of the bed and get myself a little bitty sliver to sleep on. And I roll up my coat because I'm not touching the pillow. And I get on there and I go to sleep. And this is about 7 a.m. I don't wake up until midnight. I am dead to the world. I am asleep. The promoter has to bang on the door to wake me up. Frank, you should come out and, just see what's going on and see what's happening. And I went out and it was dope out there, but I was really tired. It was really dope. I ate some food, right? So while I'm there, as I said before, the promoter and his lady were selling jerk chicken and Jamaican food. And then they had the homeboy there to help with that and, to pick up the slack. So what I told homeboy, because he was going to have to spend the night out there with the couple, which is, you don't want to spend the night with a couple, you don't. So I said, yo, bro, listen, I'm literally taking a sliver of this little space they have for us to sleep on. If you don't want to sleep, out here on the land with the people, you can crash on the other side of the bed and stay over there, right? Just go over there, but you good. So he said, okay, cool, I'll do that. So we get back in the little room, and again, I'm still dead tired. I don't want to be awake at this point. I want to go back to sleep. So I roll up my little coat, get my little corner, and I lay down. And he has lived in Taiwan for a good long time. It's another black dude, and he's lived in Taiwan for years at this point, or in and around Asia as well. So hey, I'm going to sleep. So he lays down on the opposite end and goes to sleep. So I'm laying there, and I'm asleep, but I'm kind of in and out, and something just ain't right. Something is not right. And I wake up, and I look up on the wall, and at the top of the wall is the biggest spider I've ever seen in real life. Ever. I mean, I've seen flying roaches and really big water bugs and different things, and some exotic things in different foreign places, but this is the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. The body was that big, and then his little claws was like my fingers coming off. They were massive, and they were just hanging out there, and he was just up in the corner, just kind of looking down, surveying the land, right? So when I saw it, I said, oh, wait a minute, hold on. And it was over closer to where homeboy was laying down. So I woke him up. I said, hey, brother, I am from Detroit. We don't have animals like this. Our species don't get to this magnitude. So, listen, I don't know about you, but me, I can't necessarily be asleep. And because this bug's up here. Now, he woke up, but again, he been here. Maybe he's seen these things before. He was like, hey, man, and shook his dreads to make sure it wasn't nothing in it. And said, oh, you all good, and went back to sleep. I said, oh, okay. So I tried to lay down, and I closed my eyes, and you know how it's like that moment when you you gotta wake up, but you still gotta sleep a little bit, so you don't be completely asleep. You sleep until you absolutely have to wake up, right? And I was right there, and something said, Frank, man, wake up. And I woke up, and I looked over in the corner, and the bug wasn't there no more. And I looked above my head, and guess where the bug was? On the ceiling above my head. And in my mind, he was getting ready to strike. He was getting ready to drop his web down and impregnate my face, bro. So, nope. I woke up, and I went to war. I threw a shoe, and it ran along the wall and into the bathroom. I locked the bathroom. Okay. So I went back to sleep. At some point in the night, This dude gets up to go to the bathroom. Goes to the bathroom and comes out. Lays back down. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, I didn't hear the door close. I didn't hear the door close. Did somebody? So, I got up. Hey, man, you trying to kill us. And I closed the door again. But I didn't see nothing in there. So, I assume it's in the room at this point. Frank didn't go back to sleep. I stayed up for the rest of the night. And we got up early that morning and got out of there. And when we came back the next week, we had a hotel. So, listen. I had a fight with Spider-Man. A Spider-Man. Me and Spider-Man had a fight. And he ran into the bathroom and I locked his ass in there. Excuse my French. Be careful, man. These species out here in the world is dangerous. Travel Rap Podcast. Your boy Frank Nitt. I'll holla at you. Peace.
Yeah. Travel rap. Skin. You go. Travel rap. Yeah. Travel rap. Yeah. It's the Travel Rap Podcast.